Alright guys, so who has the problem where if you're moving left and you let go of your control stick, or sometimes maybe you don't even have to touch your control stick, but your character will drift to the left? Well, I do, and it was really annoying me. So I started looking online on how to fix this problem, and I couldn't really find any really good solutions. Most people just said go buy a new controller. Some people said, hey, I got a new controller and mine hasn't done it for the past 2 months, or the past year it's never done it. And it seems pretty hit and miss. Like, some people get a new controller 2 months later, it starts acting up. A month later, a week later, a year later, it starts acting up. So it seems like there's really no way to tell if you'll have a good controller or a bad controller in this regard. And that's just not really good enough for me. It's really frustrating when I'm playing Gears of War and I'm trying to snipe someone and I'm up against a wall and my guy starts moving. This one guy suggested putting a rubber band around the control stick underneath the shell and taping it to the board, like the circuit board, and that would provide some tension against it in the direction that you needed it to. Well, this is a pretty good idea and pretty easy, but my problem was that it was just kind of it was not a very good solution in my mind. Too much mess, in other words. So here's the circuit board, and what he was suggesting is putting a rubber band around here and taping it to the board, like maybe around here, to give you enough tension. Well, guess what? I don't like all this extra rubber band, here in the controller. So what I did was I took a staple and I put it into these holes. There are 2 holes on the right side of this metal box. See all these holes? There are 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these holes. They're just about the same width as a staple, but a little bit narrower. So I took a staple. See if we can focus in on it here. I took a staple and I rebent it to the correct width so that it would fit through the holes, and then I took the staple and I stuck it through the rubber band at the correct length. That would give me just enough tension to return the control stick to neutral, and then I simply looped that into the rubber band over the control stick. Oh, and I soldered the staple to the metal enclosure so that the staple wouldn't come out. And if I ever need to remove it, like if the rubber band snaps, which it might, because as you can see I cut it pretty close to the enclosure, so this might end up snapping, tonight or a few days from now. It's very possible. But if it does, no big deal. I've got some desoldering braid, and I'll just wick up all this solder, take the staple out, and do it again, and leave a little extra rubber band next time. So this is it. This, I think, is probably the best you can do. I'm going to test it out tonight. I'm going to put my controller back together and test it out and see how it goes. But just to give you an idea, here's a little demo. This is what happens. You move your control stick to the left, the rubber band helps pull it back to neutral. And that's really it. It feels pretty similar to the other directions, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I've had a chance to do a little testing, and everything is working pretty good so far. So here's Gears of War, and normally when I was moving, or if I was moving left, like so, and then I let go slowly, if I let go gently, or if I'm barely walking left, and then I let go, he would just keep going to the left. Just indefinitely. And it was really annoying. But, check this out. Even if I move to the left and let go, he stops. Right, stops, forward stops. I never had a problem with forward, back, or right. The left was one I had a problem with. Now, I can try to simulate it by just barely nudging the control stick left and then letting go, because that would most definitely cause it to happen. I can't even get it to happen now if I want to. I can't even cause it to happen. So that's pretty great. It's working perfectly, and I just got jacked up. And the control stick feels really good. It doesn't feel weird. It doesn't really feel mushy. It doesn't feel much different from the right one at all. I mean, I can tell it's a little different, a little more resistance, but not much. It feels very similar. Yeah, I mean, it's great. It feels very similar. It's awesome. So, there you go. That is the Xbox 360 controller drift fix, as I have conceived it, and it works well for me. And if anyone else has a better idea of how to do it, please let me know, because I just want to do it the best way possible. Thanks for watching, guys. If you need any help, let me know.